Morning from Denmark on a rainy and windy day here today. But I've got some great things to share with you next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break.
Anybody want coffee? Anybody?
Thank you for joining me today. Always good to spend time with you. So I want to go to Psalm chapter 13. There you go. That's exactly the advertisement I was looking for. So he says, "How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me, answer me, Lord my God, give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And my enemies will say, I've overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall." You ever have a day like that? I have. When you go, "Lord, nothing ever goes right. My life is horrible. All I can remember are just bad times." And, if you read the Psalms of David, he has some great times, but he's honest here. And as he's writing this song, and it was a song, he's reflecting on things that he really feels. He says, "Lord, it feels like you've forgotten me. It feels like you've hidden your face from me. How long will I wrestle with these thoughts? And every day I have sorrow in my heart." And, when you feel bad, you only remember ever feeling bad. "How long will my enemy triumph over me?" That hadn't always happened, did a few times. And then he says, "Look on me, answer me, Lord. Give light to my eyes, or I'll just die. I'll sleep in death. I'm just going to die. My enemy will say, I've overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall, and that'll just be it." But David also knew how to correct himself. And, when we go on that downward spiral, I call it the woe is me syndrome, when we just go deeper and deeper and deeper into our own thoughts and things that aren't really necessarily even true. We have to climb out again with truth. David does that. And he does 4 things. The next verse 5, he says, "But I trust your unfailing love." He said, if there's one thing I know that I can trust, it's you. If there's one thing that means the most to me and is my foundation, Lord, it's you. He says, I trust in your unfailing love. You're never going to unlove me or unlike me or unfriend me. He says, I know you're going to continue to love me. And he says, and my heart rejoices in your salvation. I know that I'm saved. And then he begins to climb out of it. And he says, I will sing the Lord's praises. All of a sudden, something begins to happen in his heart. And he begins to feel worship, begins to be reminded of the truth of the situation. And then he says, for he has been good to me. Now, instead of remembering all those days of sorrow, and he can't get around them, he's saying, Lord, you've been good to me. Now I remember. Now I'm okay. Now I know the truth of the situation. I will trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice in my salvation. I will sing because there's a new song coming up. And I know you've been good to me. And folks, let me just tell you, God's been good to you too. The world isn't good to you. Sometimes people aren't good to you. Sometimes family's not even good to you. God always will be. And if you find yourself going through that downward spiral, climb back out with those 4 things that David did here in Psalm 13. Don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.